Welcome to the March 11th, 2025 City Council meeting at Hazel Park. Roll call, please.
Mayor Webb.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bureau.
Here.
Councilmember Londo.
Here.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Here.
Councilmember Washington.
Here.
We have approval of the agenda as presented.
Move approval of the agenda as presented.
Support. Sorry.
And support. Any other changes? I got one request I'd like to slide in there to special presentations from the fire department for the youth assistance.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to also, right after that special presentation, slide in a special presentation from the police department for presentation of an award of recognition.
I'll accept those friendly amendments if my seconder does as well.
Support.
Any other changes or additions or deletions? Seeing none,
Sorry.
we have an agenda. Moves down to special presentations. We have the fire department here wanting to represent the youth assistants with something special.
Do it first.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sean Altman, captain at the Hazel Park Fire Department. I also run and organize the bowling fundraiser for our benevolent fund. And we had a pretty successful event, so thank you for all the sponsors and everybody who came and participated. Another great year. $6,552 is what we raised. So with that being said, it's my honor and privilege to present our $3,000 check to the youth assistants.
Andy, would you go up and on behalf of youth assistants and accept that?
I really want to thank Sean for putting this together. It's the biggest fundraiser that Youth Assistance has every year, and it's always a lot of fun. And everybody gets out, has a good time, everybody shows up, and I just can't thank you enough for putting this together for us.
Happy to do it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Mayor, if I may recognize
Go ahead.
our Chief of Police, William Hamill, to present a special award of recognition to Captain Jim Wild of the Hazel Park Police Reserve Unit.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Thank you. It's my honor to be up here with who I have next to me is Captain James Wild. Captain James Wild is one of our reserve officers. Late last year, we held an awards banquet. Unfortunately, Captain Wild wasn't able to attend, and when he was going to be dedicated with a couple certificates, so I'm glad I'm able to present them to him here. The first certificate that I want to present to him is a certificate of dedication for his work during the 2024 Memorial Day Carnival and Parade. Captain Wild had put in 30 hours of work of his own time working for the city and the citizens of Hazel Park. And with his time and efforts, we successfully had a good Memorial Carnival and Parade. So again, I just want to thank you for that. Without his work and the work of the reserve officers, I don't think it would have been as successful as it has been. So thank you again. The second one is, again, for his time of service. Captain Wild is his commitment over the years of service he's been given to the city of Hazel Park, as well as the Hazel Park Reserve Unit, is just astonishing. Let's put it this way. I am the senior member of the police department. I have 28 years on. Captain Wild's, he's got 46 years. 46 years of service that this man has put. And generally speaking, the work that he's put in and the commitment that he has done is, again, exceptional. And for little to no pay at all. He does it because he wants to serve. And he is counted on by me in running the program, the reserve program, and he's done so. I can call him up and say, I need people for an event, and he'll have people there. Football events, basketball, traffic control, just to provide services. So, again, we're presenting him this certificate of dedication again for his 46 years of service. I'm hoping I get another 46 years out of him. He's giving me trouble, but I think I can convince him.
Yeah, I've told him he's not allowed to retire, so he's. There you go. You've probably put in more time than some people who get pensions, and that's the God's honest truth. So, if I may, when I started in the unit back in 1984, I think Jim might have been my sergeant then. So that's how long that he has been a member of the Police Reserve Unit. And he's always been a very dedicated guy, a smart guy, solid officer. I remember last year I was looking out my window and there was a police incident, and I look out there and there's Jim riding second man with the regular officers directing traffic for something that had happened on John R. And he's been a fixture in this community. One of the few people, maybe the only person that I can think of that has longer continuous involvement with the city of Hazel Park than I have. So, I guess he's right up there with Nick Dragon. Nick Dragon might have us both beat. He'd be the only one. But again, I thank you for being a great reserve officer here in the city. I thank you for everything that you do for the community. I thank you for being a good friend to me and actually a mentor to me when I joined the unit that many years ago. And you are always there. And you always do an outstanding job, and really, this is just a small token.
Thank you. Thanks for your unwavering support.
Absolutely. Do you have anything you'd like to
We
say?
all appreciate your efforts and commitment to our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bring our special presentation from Robert Wittenberg, our county treasurer.
County treasurer, former state representative,
That's right.
will tell us all how to prevent tax foreclosure.
That's exactly right.
He's been in the service for a long time, not quite as long as Jim Wild, but he has been a public servant for a number of years now.
So
I don't think you're even 46 years old. You're not even that old yet.
I'm 44. I just turned 44 in January. So your service has outlasted, or started long before, well, not long, but before my life. So thank you for that. And it's nice to see all of you this evening. I think I was here 2 years ago, we were saying. This is that time of year again when I try to traverse the county and get to as many communities as possible because March 31st is the foreclosure deadline. And so I'm going to talk through most of this in this slideshow. But the gist of what I'm going to tell people tonight is that anyone who owes 2022 and prior years taxes, and or it could be each year is actually independent of other years, is subject to foreclosure on March 31st. So if they have not paid those taxes off or entered a repayment agreement with us in our office, then they can be foreclosed. And so that's why we're getting out to do what we can to try to prevent foreclosure. So I'm going to go through this. And for those at home, we don't have to go through this, but this is just a little information about the work that we do within our office. We have a lot of different things going on, more so than just collecting taxes and this process. So I don't need to really go through this. The main thing that I want to talk about again is the tax foreclosure timeline. And so how it works is, again, this year, 2025, if you owe 2022 and prior years taxes is when you're subject to foreclosure. So this gives you, I want to kind of a big picture. So this was for 2021 taxes and the 2024 foreclosure cycle, right? So the first year, so anyone here in Hazel Park, if they did not pay their summer or winter taxes from 2024, on March 1st, they get turned over to the county treasurer's office. We become the collections agent, if you will, on that. So they become delinquent on March 1st. And that's the, kind of like the first year. And then, so to give you an idea, we have over 500,000 parcels here in Oakland County. So 41,000 got turned over delinquent. Ultimately, 39,000, that number there is what's paid in full. We do what are called taxpayer assistance meetings. So these are one-on-one meetings that we do with people to talk about their unique situation and try to help them. So that's that 1,637 number. The foreclosed properties ultimately was 244, but there were 109 that were withheld for various reasons. I don't need to go into all those, but ultimately 131 were, and then if they do foreclose, they go to an auction. They go to a public auction. So there are 131. Last year, that was the second lowest number we've ever had in Oakland County. The lowest was the year prior. We actually only had about 90, so it ticked up just a little bit. But we're doing our best to keep that number low. And so that's why I get out and do these in as many communities as possible. And we have commercials online, and it's in your C&G papers, Madison Park over here. So we're out here doing the work. So this is kind of the big picture. Specifically, this is data for Hazel Park. So this is the 2023 foreclosure data. So this was 2020 tax year that turned over. So you had 1,100 parcels that turned over. You had 312 that are forfeited. So that's that second year. Forfeited just means that the county puts a lien on the property. And then there were foreclosed was 19. Again, some were withheld for whatever reason. And then only one went to a land sale. The following year, same kind of thing, 1,100 were delinquent, and again, that was your 2021 taxes, and then 323 forfeited, 6 foreclosed, and then 1 went to the land sale. So, and you can kind of see this picture. So this is, obviously it's, all throughout the county, all throughout Hazel Park, it's all throughout the county, but this is specifically Hazel Park. So, and most communities, people talk about how, Oakland County can be a really successful, wealthy community, or county, but we have these, there's delinquent taxes in, I think, just about every community. We have 63 cities, villages, and townships, and I think there might only be one that we don't see delinquent, and just a couple where you won't even see anything get forfeited, but probably 60 of the 63, right, they have, this happens. So, and then ultimately we cash flow the local community. So we go through settlement with every local community. That March 1st date when it gets turned over, we pay 100% all the delinquent taxes to the local community so you can continue to operate. And that is state, right? So that's the state law that all counties do. So to kind of go through, I won't talk about all of this, but ultimately this process, like I said, this 3-year process. So the year 1 is delinquency, year 2 is the forfeiture, year 3 is the foreclosure, and then after the foreclosure, so the law changed. It used to be that if you lost your property, it would be sold at auction, and that was it. You had you didn't get anything, right? The law changed. There was a lawsuit. When I was serving in the legislature, we actually voted to amend the law so that now you can file a claim form and you can get those surplus proceeds. So anything above what was owed, you are entitled to, but you have to turn in that claim form by July 1st. So just FYI. And then there's fees and interest that are added. We have no control over that. It is statutory. So we always encourage people to pay your taxes on time because it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And then there's notifications. So there's certified mail, first-class notifications. We go visit people's properties personally. So we're doing everything we can. Like I said, foreclosure is something that impacts not just the homeowner, business owner, the entire neighborhood. And so we want to try to prevent it. And then we want to try to help everyone. I always say we don't know you need help unless you tell us you need help. So today, that's why I'm here to encourage you to reach out to us. So let me see here. So I talked about the 3-year process. Again, March 31st is the deadline. So if you yourself at home or anyone listening, if you yourself or someone you know has 2022 and prior year taxes, please reach out to us. We have our financial empowerment center, so we have someone there who's like a financial coach who will work with people on budgeting, on debt relief, seeing if there's resources available. So that's something, again, the one-on-one conversations we said we have with taxpayers. call us. Those are, you can do it over the phone, you can come in person. So we're doing the outreach right now. And then, why I'm doing this is to help spread the word. So that financial empowerment center I talked about within our office, the number's on the screen, but I'll read it for anyone that's at home, 248-858-0672. Our website, oakgov.com/treasurer. Also, you guys have your own assessor, use equalization?
We use equalization.
Equal. So there is a poverty exemption for people that might qualify, so we encourage you to reach out to equalization, and that number's here as well. And then an entity that is not part of the county, but we refer people over to, it's a nonprofit, Lakeshore Legal Aid. Is a free legal service for low-income families and seniors. So we encourage people to reach out to them. They do everything but criminal law and traffic citations is what I've been told. So please call them, 888-783-8190. We've recorded and we are editing some videos that are going to be helpful for people that always have questions about their assessment notice, about their taxes, about the tax cycle, about their principal residence exemption, about all these different things. So we have those in the hopper, and hopefully those will be live soon, and we'll send those over when they are short and hopefully helpful for people. And that's really it. So I wanted to come out here and tell you all about this. And wanted to make sure, again, people are aware. If you didn't listen to me at all during this time I was presenting, the one thing I want you to remember is that we are here to help. Please call us, 248-858-0611. If you have delinquent taxes, and especially if you have delinquent taxes from 2022 and prior. In our office, I tell people our job is to collect taxes. We are not trying to foreclose on people. We are just trying to collect taxes. So that's my story. That's what's going on. Thank you for giving me the time. I'm happy to answer any questions if you all have any questions for me. But otherwise, it's good to see some friendly and familiar faces, and I appreciate you giving me the time.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming out and giving us this fabulous speech and presentation. And hopefully everybody can take it to heart. If they have any problems, give them a call.
Yep.
I have a question unrelated to the presentation.
Sure.
It's something I've seen some residents post and ask about. So property sale, uncapped, say you're unhappy with your assessment. And I know, in some communities, including ours, that's actually a little bit closer to like the mid 30% as opposed to like a true 50% of like the SCV. Say you come in and you get reassessed and you actually get assessed higher. Does that end up locking in, or do you get to like keep the low rate?
This is if you go to your March board of review.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't deal with assessing, and we don't deal with assessing in our office, so I don't want to give you improper information. I don't know that answer. You'd have to talk to the assessor about that. But the March Board of Review isn't your final review. There are more reviews, and then there's the tax tribunal and the state tax office, whatever it is, right? So there are more opportunities. So but I don't know that answer offhand.
You were here, so I figured
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And they're the other side of the coin, right? So like equalization is the assessing side, like the value of it, and then we're on the collection side of it. So
Actually, I know the answer to that, and so does Lacey Christensen because she's waving her hand back there. Come on up, Lacey, and you can answer that one.
She said, dang it.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to let her get away.
I guess I could have just.
Hi, good evening. I was going to say the same thing that you did. There is the MTT and STC that you can go argue it with, but that you do get locked in. Like that's the risk that you take.
That is the risk that you take.
Yeah,
Sometimes some people go and they appeal those taxes and they
Yes.
end up with an increase we have seen.
And it has happened, yeah. Yep, especially because, as you pointed out, we're more at the 30%. They've been keeping us a little bit artificially low so that we don't shock the market in Hazel Park. We're slowly getting to the 50%. But yes, that is a risk.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to point out the huge difference in the numbers from where it starts to where it ends up. And I really think that is a testament to how hard you work for the people in this community and in this county. Losing your home is never never good. And I know some of those are things that people have walked away from, or maybe somebody has passed away. But I want to thank you for coming out and giving this presentation, because this is a concern. I'm already hearing from residents who are worried about where their finances are going to be in the next year or two, and what their ability to pay their mortgage or pay their taxes is going to look like. So this is really valuable information for those people. And I just really want to thank your office for all the hard work you do to keep people in their homes.
And I will second that as well. When we look at this, and it's before you were treasurer, but those of us who've been up here, for some of us for almost ever, we remember the foreclosure crisis after the great property value crash of 2008, 2009, and it had a long tail of about 4 or 5 years after that, where the values kept tumbling, and there were hundreds of homes every year in Hazel Park going to foreclosure.
Yep.
So you really do have an active program to help people stay in their homes. We don't want to take your home here in Hazel Park. That's the last thing that we want. But again, Robert's statutorily charged, it's his responsibility, is to collect the taxes. And I don't know of any other county that has this extensive a program like you have, to really try everything under the sun to get people some help so that they avoid losing their property.
I appreciate that. And of those, the numbers what we looked at for the foreclosures, the majority of those, and almost all of them, are vacant land or a vacant structure. It is rare that it is, where someone is living or it's an occupied business, because again, we're trying to work with them, and we go visit them personally. Like, I've visited multiple properties in Hazel Park where if we've sent them, again, the first class notice, the certified mail, we've posted their property, and we can't get a hold of anyone, we go visit some of these properties where we're like, okay, something's wrong here. Why aren't they following up? And since I live here on the southern part of the county, I usually knock on the doors of the ones that are in the neighborhood here. So I've been to a few doors here to try to see what's happening. So, no, we're out doing the work, and I appreciate it, and your help as well. So if you're talking to people in the community, please encourage them to reach out to us.
Thank you for all your hard work, Robert. We do
Thank you.
appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Takes us to a resolution for Women's History Month. Mrs. Sullivan, would you like to?
Thank you. Mrs. Sullivan is my mom. Whereas women of every race, religion, class, sexuality, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of the United States in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And whereas American women served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity. And whereas Michigan women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles to advance our state, helping to create a more fair and just society. And whereas, despite advances, the role of women in our history is still overlooked and undervalued in the literature, teaching, and study of American history. And whereas there are many strong women in the city of Hazel Park who have and will continue to empower others, inspire fellow women, and create history right in our backyard. And whereas women in the city of Hazel Park are not afraid to overcome challenges, become leaders, and break barriers. And whereas we take this opportunity to honor the countless recorded and unrecorded achievements of City of Hazel Park women as they, too, make history in seen and unseen ways each day. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Hazel Park City Council hereby recognizes March 2025 as Women's History Month in the City of Hazel Park.
That'll be your motion. Do you have a support? Support. No dissension. We adopt that resolution. Resolution 03007-25, International Women's Day. Andrea.
Resolution to recognize March 8th, 2025 as International Women's Day in the City of Hazel Park. Whereas women and girls are essential to success and progress in every aspect of our society, and whereas promoting opportunities for women and girls strengthens security, stability, and prosperity for everyone. And whereas the City of Hazel Park stands with women and girls around the world in the critical work of protecting and advancing human rights, and whereas we celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of women and girls around the world. We are we also reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that all people can reach their full potential. And whereas there are many women in the city of Hazel Park who have and will continue to strive towards a future where women have an equal seat at the table, an equal voice in shaping decisions, and an equal opportunity to contribute fully to their city, state, and nation. And whereas we take this opportunity to honor the women of the city of Hazel Park and their everyday achievements as they too make history one voice at a time. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hazel Park City Council hereby recognizes March 8th, 2025 as International Women's Day in the city of Hazel Park.
And that's,
Second.
there you go. Any dissension? None. Motion to adopt the resolution to International Women's Day is done.
Thank you.
This is to civic announcements. Anyone from the public have any civic announcements? Seeing none. City Council? Oh, well, we got to get to you just a minute. City Council? Good.
We can do the reminder. I can do the reminder of the Hazel Park Juneteenth Art Scholarship. You can find that application. It's open to Hazel Park and Ferndale juniors and seniors currently enrolled in Hazel Park or Ferndale schools. And that application is at www.hpart.org.
Do we have a chamber thing as well?
I think that's already full.
All right.
State of the City is Friday morning, 8 o'clock at Boozy's Bar.
It's full.
And it's already filled up
just
occupancy-wise. That's okay. Anyways, takes us to public discussion. We have a Kathy Hall. Come on up. How you been?
Fine. I'm Kathleen Hall, 1141 East Mountain, Hazel Park. I'm here on behalf of the athletic boosters for Hazel Park Schools. We are having a bowling fundraiser on the 28th of March at Astro Lanes. If anybody would like to come out, I left some flyers there. It's $30 a person, $50 a couple. There's 2 games of bowling, shoe rental, and some food. And if you don't bowl, you can just come and hang out. So just talk.
Kathy?
It's at the check-ins at 6:30 and bowling begins at 7. It's a Friday. I also left some flyers. If anybody wants to sponsor a lane or donate a prize, we can always use that. Also, I'm here on behalf of St. Justin, St. Mary Magdalene. We're having a rummage sale on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of April. I don't have a flyer, but it's a final sale. St. Justin's campus is closing.
Really?
Our boiler went out. So we will be moving to St. Mary Magdalene eventually. We were doing that first, and then with Father Bob and Father William is passing away, so we will be having a final sale. There will be a bake sale also that time. Thanks.
Thank you, Kathy. Any other public discussion from the audience?
Can I harass Tim Young to come up and talk about the Earth Day at DPW? Sorry, I should have done that earlier.
Yes, Earth Day will be April 26th, this Saturday. It's usually from 10 till 2 at the DPW complex. So it's open to the public to bring your waste products, home hazardous waste, cleaners, paint, old computer parts, different electronics, batteries, oil, you name it. We'll take it that day at no charge. And we usually have a little bit of food going on, some hot dogs, something else, and we'll have vendors there at tables to go over different environmental types of programs that are offered out there, as well as some gardening tips and such. So,
will the paper shredder truck be there too? Okay.
We have requested it, so I haven't heard back that it's a definite yes, but it's been requested.
I save up my batteries all year for this.
One in my dishwasher thing. It's a great place
Thanks,
to
Tim.
put batteries.
Thank you so much.
I have 4 years worth of city council packets. So
Any
it'll be fun.
any other public discussion from the audience? Seeing none. Closes that. Goes to the consent agenda. Motion passed 1 through 6. The consent agenda.
Move that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
Second.
Any discussion on 1 through 6? Dissension. Motion passes. Administrative reports. Item 1. Mr. Klobuchar.
Administration respectfully requests Add amendments to the Hazel Park Municipal Code, Buildings and Construction, Chapter 15.44, signs, be adopted on second reading.
So moved.
You have support?
Support.
Any more discussion on this particular issue? Dissension? Motion passes. Boards and commissions. Anybody got any recommendations? We have some openings.
Have we posted the openings on our social media recently?
What's that?
Have we posted
We have not. We can
for
do
applications?
that. We can do that.
Do we have any applications out there?
I don't know right in front of me right now. We don't have any.
Can we have those applications for the next council meeting so we can fill these vacancies?
We'll see what we've got.
That we do have and
Promise
see
you
what we
anything.
fill.
So,
Okay. I know that there's one that Bischoff wanted to be on one of the board's commissions. I know that not everybody's in love with this idea, but he does want to volunteer in the city. Anybody got a problem with that?
Just a reminder that people don't have to be appointed to a board or commission to volunteer.
that.
And they also can attend any of our public meetings at any time. So just don't forget, if you're interested in joining a board or commission, you can absolutely attend any of the public meetings at any time, which is a great way to see if you have things to add or you think that you should apply, or even if you just have questions about what they do. So just a reminder.
Trying to pull it out there.
Absolutely.
Because there is people that are asking why they didn't get looked at, so he wasn't the only one. But anyways,
we can bring you the applications this time. We did
we'll look at them. Takes us to old business. Anything? New business? Anybody? Communications department heads. Department heads have any communications? All jump at once.
Just a reminder, with changing your clocks, to change your smoke detector batteries and CO alarms, and we do give out free smoke detectors here in the city. We go in all the time in people's homes for medical alarms, and the batteries are beeping and stuff like that. So as a reminder, change your batteries, and if you need a smoke detector, come to the station. If you're older and you can't install it, I'll personally come out and install it for you. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a perk.
Anything from our there we go. City attorneys? Go ahead.
Well, she can be department head. She's a city attorney
Department head,
and a
either
department
one.
head, so.
Hello, Amanda Mason here as code. Just a reminder that we are having beautiful weather, as everyone has noticed, and so spring is upon us and will be coming. Just a friendly reminder to anyone who is listening that the City of Hazel Park does not participate in low mow May. We obviously encourage everyone to plant pollinator gardens and to do everything that you can for the environment. Feel free to stop by. The city clerk's office has information regarding that. We do as well. There's tons on the website. Many council members frequently post about ways you can contribute to the environment in a wonderful and meaningful way. However, again, we do not participate in no mow May or low mow May. And that's just a reminder so that no one is caught off guard if you do get a notice or a door knocker or a ticket for grass and weeds. We typically do not enforce unless you're kicking over 12 inches, so it shouldn't come as any kind of a surprise. We usually wait until last year. I myself personally mowed my lawn 3 times before we in any way went out and started ticketing, and quite honestly, I should have done it 4 times. I will say the first time that I mowed, it definitely was overdue. So we were not out there enforcing until you were 4 mows into needing to have mowed, and people that got tickets typically had foot-high yards. But I do want everyone to be aware, because this is a hot topic every year and people think we're participating, and we're not in that capacity. But again, if you have any questions at all about how you can contribute to the environment, to the pollinators, to bees, to any butterflies, I'm very supportive of that. Council is very supportive of that, and we are happy to provide any of that information to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us when leaf and yard refuse pickup starts? Do you know that?
That is a Tim
April
Young
1st.
thing, and I believe he is
Next.
But yes, so
April.
we have seen some bags out there. I actually have something I have to talk to Tim about that seem to have been abandoned on a city lot. please also don't do that. Keep them in front of your own yard or call DPW. I know sometimes, and maybe he can update you on that, sometimes when we have nice weather, they have the thing brought where you can put it if we don't have the pickup. I don't know if that's an option, but leaving it there, the bags are going to break down and DPW is going to have to go out and pick them up. So please don't do that yet.
People can always take their yard waste off-season to Sacra as well. You do have to make an appointment, but it's just over in Royal Oak.
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, April 1st is around the corner, so it shouldn't be too hard. Couple weeks. Sure, we're all feeling the spring itch at 70-degree weather coming, so it'd be nice. Yeah, let's see. We go to any other department heads. Tim.
He's back. He's always back. Yes. By the way, April 26th is Earth Day. There. Okay. That was on my list there. Well, winter is taking a little break here, so everybody's out taking advantage of it, and we are too. So we've got our sweeper out doing some limited work until the season fully breaks. The tree, as far as our city trees, we are working with that DNR grant, and they just about, if it's not done, they are probably completed their inventory of our 5,000 trees. So we'll be getting data on their condition, the species, what kind of maintenance would be needed for each one throughout the whole city, and that is including the parks as well. They did the Section 9 tree trimming has been completed. So we'll probably move on to some other projects with that. But it does bring me down to the sad announcement is that compost will no longer be available. Effective this month, Sacra is turning over their yard to a company called Spurt Industries, who will not be giving out compost for free, delivery to different municipalities. Residents can go to the site, which is in Rochester, and get it for free. But if you want it delivered to your home, or you want a large amount when you visit there, more than 1 to 3 yards, it's $24 per yard. So things are changing.
I think there's some delivery on top of that.
Right, and delivery fees, yeah. So we were looking at the numbers, and a load of regular materials we use for our construction season, dirt and such, the delivery fees for that are $300 to $400 for the large trains. And with the cost of the compost, which we're getting, that $24 is actually a 25% discount, it would be over $1,000 just for a load of compost. And right. Being that it's parked with no real monitoring of residents getting in there and out, it's just not a program we can sustain anymore. And then on the water sewer side, it looks like our main breaks are finally diminishing from the season, so hopefully we'll get back to normal. You may start seeing some action on fire hydrants and different things with the seasons opening up. We'll be utilizing them out there to do work, which means we might get a little discoloration in your water, which is a normal routine. Just let your water flow for a few minutes, it'll clear right out. So, okay.
Could you tell us about the pink dots and the white chalk on the roads in Section 9?
The white chalk, I'm not 100% sure.
The accessibility of the sidewalk into the
curb cuts,
the ADA ramps.
Yes.
Could you just let everybody know about it?
Oh, well, an ADA ramp, we are going to replace them throughout the city, mainly down in the lower section. I think we're also going to do a batch on 10 Mile too. And as far as the pink dots that are going to start showing up, that's the sidewalk program. We're out evaluating sidewalks and starting to take down information, starting to get letters prepared and such. So that'll probably be starting up soon. Usually we do a first round of the sidewalk program in the spring, and then we'll complete that, and then we'll perform a second round usually in the fall. So I'll keep you informed on what goes on with that.
Okay. Thank you. City Attorney, Mrs. Swartz.
All is well, sir. Thank you.
Manager.
I want to thank all of my staff and department heads and all the city employees who continue to do such a good job for the city of Hazel Park. Very appreciative of them. I want to remind everyone that Michigan's system of municipal finance remains fundamentally broken, but next week a bunch of us will travel to Lansing for the Michigan Municipal League's Capital Conference, and hopefully we will be able to interact with our legislators and try to make some positive things happen in terms of legislation that will benefit cities in the state of Michigan. So our own legislator, Mike McFall, works very hard, and appreciate him and his leadership on a bill that will allow us to recoup money from the federal government through their ground emergency medical transport reimbursement program. State of Michigan has been leaving probably like $60 million on the table because the state didn't want to participate in the program and dedicate the resources to do that. So thanks to his legislation, they're now required to do so. So we hope that will generate some additional revenue for the city of Hazel Park and the other communities in the area that run their own ambulance services. Springtime, watch out for bicyclists. Bicyclists, watch out for vehicles.
Thank you. It takes us to Councilperson Washington.
Oh, me first. I just want to take a moment and acknowledge our fire department. I had to call and have my mom taken to the hospital. My sister had to call and have my mother taken to the hospital last month. And they are always very respectful, and we really appreciate them. They're very timely. And my mom always has, well, it's happened twice. She's always had nice things to say about those that have cared for her while she's with you guys. So thank you so much for that. I also want to thank Alyssa for being my fellow council member as this is Women's History Month and published the Equal Rights Amendment. And thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Councilperson Mondo.
I don't have much going on in my life right now. Captain Allman, just genuinely thank you for all you do, especially for the Fire Benevolent Fund. Very grateful to have a family member who's a beneficiary of support from the Fire and Police Department, and I know how much of a tremendous resource it can be in a time of need. And also for the investment into the youth assistance program. Very much appreciated. Captain Wild, I know he had to dip, but wow, congratulations on all of the years of service and the dedication to the community. That is really, really spectacular. My favorite Billy on the Street segments is Name a Woman, so I would like to recognize my fellow council members, Andrea Washington and Alyssa Sullivan. It is genuinely an honor to serve up here on the dais with both of you. So just thank you for your presence and for your advocacy, not just for women, but just for minorities and a whole lot of different communities. Having that representation is really, really important, and you guys do a spectacular job. And then shout out my wife, who's going to be having a child hopefully sometime in the next 10 days.
Keep us posted.
I will.
Councilperson Sullivan.
All right. Thank you again for recognizing women, everybody, especially my co-council member here, Andrea. Women in spaces make the world better. That has been proven over and over again. So I'm happy to work with so many great women. Our city has so many great women employed here, and I just want to give a shout out to all of them. So thank you. Also, I wanted to thank again our Hazel Park Fire Department for all the work that you do in our community to keep us safe and going above and beyond to create these fundraisers in your spare time, which I know you don't have a lot of because I know you have a lovely family. So thank you for that extra dedication to our community. Again, another congrats to Captain Wild. The dedication of our city first responders is just it's just phenomenal to me, and it's so awe-inspiring, but also we're so grateful for it. So thank you all. I wanted to remind people, as Ed said, to as the temperatures get warmer, remind people to watch out for pedestrians, kids, cyclists, skaters, dog walkers. etc. Please pay attention. We're out there. We don't want to get run over. Also, I wanted to remind people that St. Patrick's Day is coming up. AAA, again, is offering their tow to go. It starts, it's available from 6 p.m. on 3/15 through 6 a.m. on 3/18. This service will offer to pick up a person in their vehicle and tow them up to a 10-mile radius. It's available to both AAA members and non-AAA members, and you can secure this tow to go by calling 855-286-9246. This is a free service. We want everybody to get home safe. Don't drink and drive. If you can't call a friend or arrange for a ride ahead of time, this is a great option to get both you and your vehicle home safely. That's it. Be safe, everybody.
Thank you. Councilperson Washington would rebuttal here?
No.
A comment?
It's just a comment. I just also wanted to acknowledge those Muslim citizens because it is Ramadan. So I respect your dedication because, yes, it is a very holy month. And I just want to say happy Ramadan and blessings to you all.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, I want to, 46 years for Captain Jim, that's impressive. And we've always commented, though, the volunteers are what makes Hazel Park really flow. I mean, all the departments, have many of the departments, I should say, have volunteers in different fashions, and it makes it go. So we appreciate them. I want to say thanks again to the fire department and the Firemen Benevolent Fund for their contribution to the Hazel Park Youth Assistance. These funds stay here in Hazel Park. They help our students, scholarships and recognition, and sometimes shopping spree, which the firemen have been and police have been on with us many times. So to that point, if you love somebody, tell them, and if you have children, hug them every day and tell them you love them. And thank you for everybody coming out to participate in the democratic process.
Thank you. Yeah, it goes right back to all the volunteerism that we've all had to endure over the years and help everybody and make sure everyone has a free hand to help another person. That's what we're there to help do. And that's why we have these organizations such as the fire department, the police department, Lions Club, and other organizations around town that are suffering for volunteers, but they're still hanging in there. Athletic boosters, we're all there to help one another, and hopefully we can, if we got an extra few hours or a minute or two, step up and give a hand. I want to say thank you to Jim for all the 46 years again. That is an accomplishment in itself. The man is a nice man. I've known him not personally, but I've met him a few times over the years. Got to talk to him and see him at different events, and he's always there to help with the students in the schools, at the park, different, I see him everywhere. And he's a great volunteer. And I want to say thank you again to the police and fire departments for all their work, hard work, and all the people that have come before you and the ones that are going to come after you. They're the ones, everybody's done their part in our community to help make our community strong and keep it where we are today.
I probably should have said a little more about Jim, because literally I've known the guy for 42 years. And he's always been dedicated. It shows you that for some folks, being a volunteer, and he's a successful guy, master's degree, engineer, bright guy. But he's had this second career for his entire adult life here volunteering for the city of Hazel Park. And he's still out there. He's still riding with the regulars. He's still, I saw him the other day in the parking lot. So he's still performing his job, doing it well. I had a chance to get my picture taken with him and with Brian Forrester and with Mike Kraft. The four of us, when the Memorial Day Festival expanded in the late 80s, the four of us policed that the first time. So
there's some other volunteers you just mentioned.
Yep, and they've been there almost as long.
Yeah.
So they came on right after I did. So again, there's been a great core of leadership that unit has had, and they perform a great service. And that's just one way to volunteer for the city of Hazel Park. Since Chief Walker's taken over, the fire department is now in the process of doing training for the community emergency response team, and that's another avenue that we hope to open up to citizens in the future. It's a little less training, but it's still critically important training, and a little less of a time commitment, but it's something we would like to get people to volunteer for as well. We have boards and commissions. We have park cleanups. We have a tree planting coming up in May. Serene just got another commitment from Relief. I don't have the date, but I will make sure that it gets posted on our website and on our Facebook page so that everybody knows that. There are all kinds of ways you can volunteer to make Hazel Park a better community, and I would encourage everyone to participate and do so.
Thank you. Again, thank you very much for coming out this evening, and I think we had a very nice meeting. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. So moved.